South Korean film Parasite has been named Best Picture at this year's Oscars, becoming the first non-English language film to take the top prize. 92 years of Oscar history were shattered Sunday night when the South Korean hit Parasite became the first film not in the English language to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. A dark comedy about modern poverty and wealth that has brought down language barriers to open new audiences to foreign film can now call itself a history-making Oscar winner. The Kim family live in a semi-basement flat in Seoul, have low-income jobs, and struggle for money. Min-hyuk, a university student, gives the family a scholar's rock meant to promise wealth. Leaving to study abroad, he suggests that the Kim's son, Ki-woo, pose as a university student to take over his job as an English language tutor for Dae-hye, the daughter of the rich Park family. After his sister Ki-young helps create a false certificate for him in Photoshop, Ki-woo, posing as a Yonsei University student, is subsequently hired by the Park family. The Kim family schemes to get each member a job with the Park family. The Kim daughter, Ki-young, poses as Jessica and, using Ki-woo as a reference, becomes an art therapist to the Park's young son, Dae-song. Ki-young frames Yoon, Mr. Park's driver, by making it appear he had a sexual encounter in the car, then recommends her father, Ki-taek, to replace him. The Kims exploit the peach allergy of the Park's longtime housekeeper, Moon Gwang, to convince Mrs. Park that she has tuberculosis, and the Kim mother, Chung-suk, is hired to replace her. Ki-woo begins a secret romantic relationship with Dae-hye. When the Parks leave on a camping trip, the Kims revel in the luxuries of the house. Moon Gwang appears at the door, telling Chung-suk she left something in the basement. She enters a hidden entrance to an underground bunker created by the architect and previous homeowner. There, Moon Gwang's husband, Gyun-sai, has been secretly living for over 4 years, hiding from loan sharks. Chung-suk refuses Moon Gwang's pleas to help Gyun-sai remain in the bunker, but the eavesdropping Kims accidentally reveal themselves. Moon Gwang films them on her phone and threatens to expose their ruse to the Park family. The Parks call to tell them they'll be returning early, due to a severe rainstorm flooding the camping area, and that they need Chung-suk to make a bowl of ramdon to cheer Dae-song up. The Kims scramble to clean up the home and subdue Moon Gwang and Gyun-sai before the Parks arrive. They trap Gyun-sai and Moon Gwang in the bunker. Mrs. Park reveals to Chung-suk that Dae-song had a seizure-inducing traumatic experience on a previous birthday, when he saw a ghost, actually Gyun-sai, emerging from the basement at night. Ki-young, Ki-taek, and Ki-woo hide under a table with a near shot of Mr. and Mrs. Park, who have sex on the sofa nearby. They overhear Mr. Park's comments about Ki-taek's odor. The Kims escape and find their flat flooded with sore water following the rainstorm, and shelter in a gymnasium with other displaced people. The next day, Mrs. Park hosts a house party for Dae-song's birthday with the Kim family's assistance. Ki-woo enters the bunker with the scholar's rock to find Gyun-sai. Finding Moon Gwang has died from a concussion she received during the brawl, he is attacked by a deranged Gyun-sai. He bludgeons his head with the scholar's rock and escapes, leaving Ki-woo lying in a pool of blood at the entrance to the basement. Seeking to avenge Moon Gwang, Gyun-sai stabs Ki-young with a kitchen knife in front of the horrified guests. Dae-song suffers another traumatic seizure upon seeing Gyun-sai, and a struggle breaks out until Chung-suk fatally impales Gyun-sai with a barbecue skewer. While Ki-taek tends to Ki-young, Mr. Park orders Ki-taek to drive Dae-song to the hospital. In the chaos, Ki-taek, upon seeing Mr. Park's disgusted reaction to Gyun-sai's odor, angrily kills him with the knife. Ki-taek flees, leaving the rest of the Kim family behind. Weeks later, Ki-woo is recovering from a brain operation. He and Chung-suk are convicted of fraud and put on probation. Ki-young has died from her injuries, and Ki-taek, wanted by the authorities, cannot be found. Gyun-sai is assumed to be an insane homeless man, and neither his nor Ki-taek's motive for the murders are known. Ki-woo spies on the Park's home, now occupied by a German family unaware of its history, and sees a message in Morse code from a flickering light. Ki-taek, who escaped into the bunker, has buried Moon Gwang in the garden and sends the message every day, hoping Ki-woo will see it. Still living in their basement flat with his mother, Ki-woo writes a letter to Ki-taek, vowing to earn enough money to purchase the house and reunite with his dad. The capitalism system in society, which has been shown in this as the Parasite, is masterfully exposed. The economic limits imposed by the same people, the class disparity does represent every facet of the fundamental problems that the world's main societies are currently facing. The straightforward approach it took to dealing with those delicate themes was one aspect of it that I particularly adored. While being created with Korean culture and society in mind, this story can be applied to any country. However, you must give the film your whole intellectual attention while viewing because every scene there has been figuratively built. Every character and their actions signify something, and you need to locate that connection. Don't worry, though. The directing has been top-notch throughout the entire movie, so you will find it. Those brilliant setups can only be examined thoroughly if you are paying enough attention. It's fun to see and feel the character growth and hidden analogies. My own advice would be to stay away from all promotional content before seeing it. Keeping a clean slate will make it easier for you to naturally process everything. I'll stop with the review here and just urge you to see this movie right away. Amazing and bizarre, it is an experience that cannot be quickly forgotten. The strongest suggestion when you watch this film: unexpected twists will keep happening. It has subtle but endearing dark humor. There are some scenes that send chills up your lumbar spine. Along with the movie's symbolic characters, you'll be considering how to solve your problems. The most innovative movie, which is also simultaneously profoundly scary and delightfully humorous.